gonna fly home to Fairbanks, Alaska, my hometown. I haven't been back in almost 10 years. I'm gonna look around and try and write some stand-up material. I never talked about Alaska in my act before. I think it's about time.
A friend of mine set me up on a date with this chick, and he's like, "You want to go out with her?" And I was like, "No." So I was looking at a picture, and he's like, "No, it's cool, man." She's like, she's not photogenic. And I'm like, if you take a picture of someone, that's what they look like. Yeah. That's what a camera does. It takes a picture of you. Like, that's you right there, Like, you can fuck around with the zoom all you want. It's not going to take out a tooth. Do you think it's harder, as far as when you're writing stuff, do you think it's harder to grab material from a place like this easier? Or do you think if you're a funny person, no matter where you are, you're just going to get stuff no matter what?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could be in a cell block and a comic will come up with something funny to write.
Right.
That's where it comes from. It comes from within. Those first couple of years, it was always so hard to write. But over the years, particularly if you do the same clubs on a regular basis, you're constantly writing. There isn't a day I'm not writing or doing voices into my, into a recorder, something funny I came up with or an idea. And it's just your perspective on the world around you. Ours happens to be in Fairbanks, Alaska. Not all the comedy is about Alaska. A lot of it, I'm married. A lot of it's about that, or about my kids, or music, or whatever happens to be in the news. That's where it all comes from. And as you write more comedy, you get better at writing comedy because you tend to look for stuff. You look to find the funny. For a while, it's very difficult to find the funny. Mm-hmm. And pretty soon, it kind of finds you. KFAR's Tradio, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
At 14 boxes, 20 gauge. They're 75 for all 14 boxes.
Oh, that's not bad right there, huh?
3 1/4. I traded for 12 gauge or a 20 gauge shotgun.
Tradio. You trade on the radio. Get it? Good. This is a call-in service that allows you to listen to people buying and selling things. It's like Craigslist for cavemen.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. All about car parts here on KFAR. Matt Ralston's joining us as well. Matt is, of course, in town, a comedian, a fellow comic, which is really cool, out of Alaska, making us proud. You've got Oktoberfest going on tonight and tomorrow night. Also tomorrow, roller derby, ladies roller derby going on, and International Talk Like a Pirate Day tomorrow, Matt.
Aye? I'm getting rid of a dozen tamales, looking to trade up for a case of steak sauce. Hit me up on my rotary.
They got the founder in town, Captain Slappy of International Talk Like a Pirate Day.
The Captain Slappy?
The Captain Slappy.
If you need to replace a cup holder on your 76 Dodge Ram, you could either go to a Pep Boys and pay $6.99, or spend a month of your life listening to the radio hoping that someone will offer one up to you in exchange for your scratch Peter Frampton album.
I have a Colt 45. It's a model 1911, made 1944. 5 magazines, 2 holsters, 1 original holster. 1,000 are best.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, more guns per capita in Fairbanks, Alaska than Istanbul. This place is...
Someone should tell him. I think that Colt 45 might have gone bad, though, by now.
Oh, it might have.
Yeah. What's this? We have a caller. Yeah, this is Craig. I'm calling to offer everything you would ever need, ever. Hit me up online. The internet. It's like a phone where you can talk to the whole world. I miss Tradio.
People drink a lot in Fairbanks. There's nothing else to do. I mean, people drink a lot everywhere I've been, really, but this is a different kind of drinking, I think. This is like, we have to do this, and we're going to do it, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, we go and party here like 25 miles away, 35 miles away, just at a pit, and we put a fire up and we go party. And then all of a sudden, Matt walks up this hill and rolls down.
Big dirt hill.
Just again. Walks up a hill again, rolls down. All of a sudden, this girl walks over to him, and I'm like, Matt's really gonna get a fucking girl because he rolled down this hill? And so, like, this girl starts talking to him, and then this other guy comes up to him and is like, hey, what's up, man? And Matt just pushes him. And so Matt's about to get in a fight and get a girl from fucking rolling down a hill. And At a party, like we must have been 18, 19 years old at that point.
Yeah, it was the drunkest I've ever been. And it was weird that the guy wanted to fight me, I believe, just for rolling down a hill.
I stepped off the plane into the cold and gray, where the streets have no name cause they ain't been paved. There ain't no fame when you can't explain why. Bush planes, float planes, junk planes. Whatever you call them, Alaska has a lot of planes. This is because much of Alaska is not accessible by road. To see the real Alaska, the dangerous parts where people get killed by bears and whatever other stupid story you've heard on the Discovery Channel, you have to fly. Ever seen an old town with junky cars everywhere off on the side of the road? That's how Alaska is with airplanes. What do you do with a plane when you're done? Leave it where it is. It's a good spot.
Over a period of time years ago, I watched this guy put this airplane together in his driveway. I drive by there every day. He lived up on a hill, and I said, well, what is he going to do with that airplane in his driveway? And one day I opened the paper, and sure enough, his plan was to take off from his driveway. And of course, he didn't make it, and he impaled himself through a light pole. I mean, it was totally ridiculous, but somehow, because he was in Alaska, he felt he could get away with building an airplane in his driveway and flying out of it.
Is there a lot of head trauma in Fairbanks?
Yes, we have a young, aggressive population. There's a lot of snow machining and automobile accidents, motorcycle accidents. So you can see some pretty tragic accidents occur. I remember years ago I saw this young fellow who I think he was diabetic and was taking out the garbage, and it was about 40, 45 below, and he froze all four extremities and lost all four extremities, and so I saw him psychiatrically. So things can happen when it's that cold if people are just unlucky or get careless.
Do you have on a lighter side maybe some funny, like maybe someone's penis got frozen or something like that?
Well, I don't think that'd be light for the person who froze it. No, I haven't seen any frozen penises. I've certainly seen people trying to shoot their penis off because they got a message from God that they should circumcise themselves. Stuff like that.
I mean, honestly, it's got to just corrupt your senses a little bit. Have you found that there is some link here between comedy and survival, or is that just sort of an armchair type of theory?
No, I think people here, try not to take themselves too seriously, which I think gives them a good sense of humor.
Everybody has a very good sense of humor. They really do. Everybody has a positive outlook on life. There's a few people that don't. Of course, that's all over the world, But as a whole, the people in Fairbanks are okay.
I spent a summer in Florida, and the stupidity level is off the charts. I had to leave. I loved it. The only reason I left was America is filled with way too many fat, stupid, lazy people. And you don't get fat, stupid, and lazy up here. That combination, it's called thinning out the herd. Mm-hmm. They perish here. They will die, we will eat them, and they're young.
I need a Red Bull. Been reading the paper a lot. I read in the police section today that a guy at Ivory Jacks is the one, right? The other one? A guy at Ivory Jacks was in the hospital, and he filed a police report because he complained that he thought he was sexually assaulted. He thought. They have an aggressive search policy at Ivory Jacks. I think the only way there's any ambiguity if you're sexually assaulted or not is if you get beat the fuck up with someone's dick, because then you don't know if it's a sexual assault or just a regular assault. Last night I set up a show at Kodiak Jacks and did some of the material I'm working on. Some of it went okay, but realistically, I only have like five minutes of material in Alaska. It was weird though, the stuff kind of about being sort of making fun of people that are very Alaskan. It seemed like they didn't respond too well to that. I don't think it's because they're not willing to laugh at it. I don't think I explained it properly. I don't think they really got what I was saying on a few things.
They say you can't go home again because home has ceased to exist except in the mothballs of memory. The great American journalist Tom Wolfe said that. Well, it's been almost 10 years since I've been back home, yet the place is pretty much exactly like I remember. You know, I could probably listen to a Beatles song 10 years from now and it wouldn't seem that different. Let it be, yep, that's the one. The best comedy comes from truth and honesty. And I don't know if I found anything funny back home, but I think I found something real. And for me now, home exists in more than my memory. It exists on stage in my act.
Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
And through that, maybe just for a second, it will exist in the minds of others. Or maybe people will just tell me to move on to some dick jokes. You never know.
In Alaska, need to summarize complicated things. Back in Alaska, gonna waste the whole budget for this film.